Would you click on this thumbnail? Let's be honest here. His thumbnails look like they haven't even touched Photoshop. The editing sucks. The answer to my question is probably no. And you're assuming the views would be close to nothing. But that's far from true. The guy in question is Sam Sulek, and he averages around 120,000 views per video. What I'm trying to say is, thumbnails are pretty useless. I'm joking. The pillars of thumbnail design aren't obsolete. They change depending on your audience. Your audience might want something flashy and cool, like Mr. Beast's audience, crazy faces, way too bright colors, and over-the-top Photoshop editing. But Sam's audience is chill, laid back, and doesn't want crazy stuff happening every second. The challenge is knowing where you lie. That is the first pillar to thumbnail design. Knowing your audience in and out. Pillar 1. What I've found after working with large number of YouTubers is that the reason most YouTubers have such a hard time trying to understand their audience isn't because there's not enough data, but it's because they just don't know how to look. I'll help you look. Daniel Bedon needed a refresher on his thumbnails, and he came to me. Aside from the fact that his first video got 500,000 views, 10x more than average, the first thing I had to do was understand the competition, which you already know. But in case you don't, YouTube does the hard work for you. Head over to your analytics in the audience section and you'll get a list of channels that your audience watches. Take the top 10 most popular videos, make sure it's the most popular videos, I'll tell you why later, and screenshot them. You'll notice a trend, and that is how complex the thumbnails are. That would tell you how complex or simple your thumbnail should be. In the case of Daniel Bedon, this was his competition, and that gave me a rough idea of how the thumbnail should look. Not too complex, but not too simple either. To understand them even better, YouTube provides you with the comment section. Scroll through your comments. Your audience themselves will tell you what they liked and what they disliked. Note that down. Here are some replies to a comment. The tonality and the way the comment is typed can tell you a lot about age groups. If you're having a hard time gauging, feel free to use ChatGPT. The simple method I used was just selecting all the comments and pasting them in ChatGPT, asking the AI to figure out its demographics. Spots like Reddit are great too if you're looking to understand your audience. Here's a few questions you should think about when it comes to your audience. What are their wants, pain points, frustrations, and why would they watch you over everyone else? Pillar 2. But even after doing a deep analysis of my client's audience and competition, I still need the viewers to stop what they're doing and be interested enough to click on the video itself. Let me give you an example. Your viewer, finally, after having a hard day of work, sits down to eat dinner and scrolls right past your video when deciding what he'd like to watch. That is painful. It's also the second pillar of making an irresistible thumbnail: attention. You see, all these viral thumbnail creators have a trick hidden up their sleeves. They know how to stop a viewer, and that's what sets their videos apart from yours. There are 4 main methods of grabbing attention. Here's a detailed analysis of each. Colors. This is a thumbnail I made that went viral. It's sitting at 1 million views right now and was the first video on the channel. But there's nothing inherently attention grabbing about it. I mean, the dog isn't interesting and nothing weird is going on, but that damn yellow color sticks out like a sore thumb. It's vibrant, it pops, and it will drive attention regardless if you like it or not. By no means am I saying to splatter rainbow puke all over the thumbnail, but it is ideal if you use contrasting colors like what you see here. Plus, Mr. Beast uses this a lot. This is probably the easiest one. Just add a human face and you're good to go. We humans connect easily with other humans. Put a face in the thumbie and you're good to go. Speaking of faces, there is something that humans love even more. Last week, I was running late to class and my teacher is hella strict. He'd kill anyone who comes late. So obviously, I started frantically running to campus. But on the way, I noticed a $100 bill and I stopped. Instantly, I picked it up, looked around, and I ended up being late to class anyways. That is the effect of money. Humans love money, and leveraging this rule, you can make people stop for your video. Iman, Gadzi, Alex Hormozi, Simon Squibb, all these big gurus use it all the time. Money is great and all, but the thing you can get with it, even better. Chanel, Gucci, tickets to Taylor Swift's concerts, those are all things people love and are addicted to. I spend an hour traveling to another city to visit my favorite band's concert. You can leverage fans like me by shoving their idols' faces on the thumbnail. For example, if you make a controversial video on Taylor Swift, her audience is gonna be mad, hella mad actually, and they'll be bound to click to know more regardless if they know you or not. Bittersweet. Congratulations, you've climbed the first mountain. Your audience has stopped to take a look at your video. But you need to give them a reason to click. There's a little known secret that every creator like Iman Gadzi, Andrew Tate, and Alex Hormozi use in their video to skyrocket their views. Copying. It's actually pretty straightforward and simple. First, you're going to write down every and any unique idea in one place. You should have at least a minimum of 3 ideas that make the video unique. If you can't think of anything, you should really consider whether or not the current video idea is unique in itself. But let's say you found 7 different ideas, like I did, for this video titled Why Everybody Hates Drake. The 7 points were beef with Metro Boomin, Metro Boomin's exclusion of Drake from Heroes and Villains album, Kendrick Lamar feud triggered by Kendrick's verse on Control, Big B with Weeknd conflict over signing Republic Records instead of Drake's OVO, Blah, A$AP Rocky, Rick Ross, Kanye West, a lot of points. Now we have the unique ideas about the video in front of us. All we need to do is pick and choose. A common trend is the beef he has with everyone, and what I'm about to say is crucial, so listen closely. Choosing the unique idea that your audience would be most interested in, not just a unique idea. Unique ideas pop up on YouTube every day. What really matters is finding a unique idea your viewers would be interested in clicking in. Here's a quick example. I am interested in Apple and the newest devices they release, but my sister isn't. You can tell both of us about the new iPhone 16 and I'll be the only one interested. That is the importance of targeting your audience with the right idea. Your idea can be unique, but if it doesn't hide the audience's pains, wants, and desires, they won't care. Especially, they won't care enough to click. You've already done the hardest part of understanding your audience. So it should be fairly simple, extracting out 2 ideas that you're confident your audience would like. Pillar 4. This brings me to my next point, which is perhaps the most underrated element that you'll have to learn, and something I overlooked for a long time. The final step that can make or break your video's chances of getting views. And it's actually pretty stupid. It's the smaller mistakes a creator makes. The first one being the timestamp. That pesky bastard will hide anything beneath a black pill-sized little box. Text, numbers, images, anything important will be blocked. And I still make the mistake of putting important things there to this day. That's why I'm sharing with you, my friends, a mockup where you can clearly see the timestamps will appear. So feel free to download it and protect yourself from the damn timestamp. The second mistake is putting too much text. Anything more than 3 to 5 words might lead to a viewer clicking off. Nobody wants to read an entire paragraph on your thumbnail. And if you add too much text, it won't even be readable once the thumbnail is shrunk. Which brings me to our third mistake. Forgetting your thumbnail will be reduced to a small size. Yep, the image you made on your 27-inch monitor, it'll be reduced down to fit on a phone. So the itty-bitty element you added, poof, gone. Make your elements bigger. The amount of times I've turned a flop thumbnail to a successful one just by increasing the size of the objects is hysterical. And since we're on the subject of making elements bigger, always try to have 1 to 3 elements, not more. The more elements you add, the more confusing your design becomes. And if it's still confusing, people will move on to find something they'd rather click on. Those mistakes are crazy common. And most of the time, the fixes are really quick and easy. You just need to be more careful. Most of the time, thumbnail designers make these mistakes because they're rushing. Honestly, You might say that these mistakes are so tiny that nobody would notice, but your viewers absolutely will. And if there's something in your thumbnail that looks difficult to read or just doesn't display properly, there's a higher chance that your viewers are just gonna scroll past because your video screams low quality. Alright, let's recap. We've covered the 4 pillars of thumbnail design: knowing your audience, grabbing the attention, using unique ideas, and avoiding little mistakes. Now, you can take these tips and apply them to your next video thumbnail. Test them out, see what works for your audience, and watch your click-through rate climb. Now that your thumbnails are so good that your audience has no choice but to click, I know a few secrets that you can take to 2x your average CTR in 15 minutes. Thanks for watching.